From Shebusova Mikhail Valentinovich Herson, Krasnoflatskaya 33 KV number 109 PH 09378612114 Nobel 1869 @mail.com. Hello. My name is Mikhail Valentinovich Shebusov. I was born in the city of Mogilev, Belarus in the Soviet Socialist Republic. I'm a remarkable Russian poet. Read www.ru/of 2. I have a great brief 6.09 2023 ambulance carried my old mother to hospital of Tropinik, Karmarova number 11. There in an accident ward there was in person head of medical hospital. From it I heard the phrase, "Your mother old, it is time for it to die. We will not treat her." I answered it that to my mother it is so much years, how many will be it, and again threatened with the application to the police that refused to us medical help. In the 15th hour, the 7th of September 2023, I came to hospital of Tropinik where my mother, for some reason, in office of neurology but not cardiology, despite Zagrudini pain and the cardiogenic shock, expressed cold. Then, on hands and a forehead lay one, on the body of my mother near an armpit of the left hand I noticed the reddened consolidation, and with an obvious trace of the fact that, in this place to it that clamped a muscle, an electro-clip, a so-called crocodile, the trace of a clip, was very accurate and did not pass before the murder of my mummy. Probably it was the first case of torture applied to my mummy. Manager refused to explain offices of neurology to me. What the print is the 9th of April 2024 on Suspilm TV channel in the 23rd hour 10 minutes. In transfer Mr. Officers, the chief physician Remida Eli Raskazel that so torture with the current, when electrode clamp under the arm and attach another to genitals, and it to my 86 summer mother. This expert on tortures as well as Nach Medical Hospitals Alexander, in article of the 17th of May 2023 of Idas that can be worse than we will kill, Planeta Point Press, posed as the victim of tortures. But it is lie. They together with the friends and Kovalyova tortured my mother with what brought it to death the 13th of September 2023 GG. Kovalyova declared, on Friday take away the mother home. She received medical treatment in 7 days. If on Friday it do not take away we will throw out. On Friday the 15th of September 2023 I arrived in hospital to take away my mummy home. And what I saw. It was just the horror. My mother lay and all shivered. It was reduced by spasms of intolerable pain. On all her body, hands, her forehead, legs streams, simply streams, cold sweat slid. But there is more to come. I noticed that her left foot all is covered with blood. My mother, on a thumb of the left leg, has such senile grown nail, which that it is necessary to cut it at first to steam in soda of 30 minutes and then already parmela to cut. And so this nail rolled on a bed near the blood-stained leg. It probably nippers or something similar was just pulled out at my mother. So fascists tortured people. What heart of the old woman of 86 years will sustain such torture? Even if so, to torture the strong young man he will not sustain. I lifted scandal. I shouted, "You are not doctors, you are fascists." In reply, one of nurses of neurology bit needles to prick to you your language for these words. You represent what medical staff in this hospital point only. After the scandal lifted by me, after I looked for the doctor on duty, as Kovalyova did not want to listen to me and ran away from me, this Kovalyova disposed to grease and bandage to mother a leg and to give the anesthetizing injection. I demanded presence of the head of honey hospitals. On a look, on its movements, views, on that, as quickly Kovalyova found to herself a justification, having declared, just a nail was hooked for a blanket. I understood that Kovalyova is directly involved in torture. Such grown nail, it is necessary with a huge force and ability to tear, it will definitely not fall off. Besides, blood on a leg and a finger and pieces of soft fabric on the pulled-out nail demonstrate that the nail was torn from living muscular tissue, causing an excruciating pain to the old person. The woman lying with mother in one chamber told me yesterday, the 14th of September 2023, GG went to the NEPA with a stroke. It was bad, there were many doctors. They pulled out to mother a nail head med. Cynically declared hospitals to me, if you cut a nail, would not tear it. You represent what mentality at these fascists? About it Natch the 17th of May 2023 in article, what can be worse than Alexander's honey? They will kill me. They already in Planeta Point Press it is told from his words that he was tortured with current. I do not trust it. I think it's Cobra Kank that to rehabilitate itself. It tortures old men to death. And it is very convenient to it to torture lives in hospital in an office of MRT and can come to torture at night and to switch off the device and to bring the living woman to the freezer. By the way, that my mother was tortured, pulled out a nail, physicians did not report in prosecutor's office, police too. And this criminal crime also, you understand, in what there was a horror for me, and that I could not contact police and declare that my mother was tortured, because the police would not adopt my statement again, dealt shortly with me, without having allowed even to bury mother, as police, in this case completely in shit. Point, it is not about negligence, not about a medical error, and about deliberate murder with torture application. A nail virivanii at the old person and tortures by a current. I accuse doctors, the chief physician Remigu, Natch Honey, Kovalyova and friends of the head of Honey of a premeditated murder of my mother, from revenge for the fact that I complained of them to police, from revenge of the chief of patrol force of Kherson for complaints to it to the president and to other authorities in March, April, 2023. Not for nothing, on lips of physicians there were words, it is time for it to die. Here they tortured her and killed. Fascists, the 19th of September 2023 in the 9th hour. When I came to reanimation, the manager told me that 18/9/2023 in 20 hours 20 minutes. My mother died. Murderers. I suspect that it was just disconnected from oxygen and system and so accelerated death and still alive was transported in the morgue freezer. Not incidentally, I was not called. And time of death of 20 hours 20 minutes. The most suitable is already dark. Medical personnel, it is a little also of that, not does a voyage, sire. These murderers, fascists, are capable of everything. At once the 19th of September 2023 manager demanded reanimation, that I wrote the application, that to diagnostics, treatment, etc. I have no claims. I was indignant. I rushed into an office of the chief physician where there was a 5-minute and stated to these murderers that I will sign nothing. Point. One friend told me, Miss Shah, as you could send the Hans mother to pause of these murderers. And now I cannot forgive myself. I believed their diagnosis. I believed that there is nothing terrible. And what I needed to do, I was, as in vacuum itself, on itself with an illness of mother. To which of clever people you will not talk, everything agree on thought, that in the cannibal state there is a secret instruction of extermination of old men in hospitals. For what purpose? We know for what purpose. Also we accuse of it, you murderers, you cannibals. It appears my mummy has in this cannibal country of a Harklai and I not only the right for medical care, but also no right for life. So they solved these murderers, and me still forced to love this country, these officials, cops, citizens, doctors. You still take a whip and force me and the people as slaves to love the slaveholder. I'm not to anavis this country of murderers. Imperishable memory to you, my mummy, martyr you mine. I demand restoration and the proof of equality of all citizens according to the Constitution. As my mother is killed, also her the proof is possible not to revive that given restoration, and only one way. Well, to torture, to pull out nails, to bring to hypostasis of lungs and an extensive heart attack, and not to render medical. the help to kill parents, and then to write humiliating formal replies to relatives. 1. President Zelensky. 2. Premier 3. Deputies 4. Oligarchs 5. Ministers and also a flyover to the chief physician Relige, Nachand, chief of police of Kherson. Only this way, an eye for an eye. Life for life. When the great patriotic war to my mother began there were 4 years. She was not killed by Hitlerite fascists. She was killed in old age by the Ukrainian fascists, these doctors Mengele. And the Mengele should execute them also as Hitlerite. Ukraine turned so-called healthcare into criminal community of bribe takers, extortioners, executioners, black transplantologists of murderers of the persons, creating an arbitrariness. This criminal community, not in figurative and literally, is engaged in murder of elderly people, applying the methods of fascist Germany condemned by the world community on the Nuremberg process. The Ukrainian doctors are newly appeared to a Mengele with the permission of the state. That is why the tribunal over Ukraine is extremely necessary. The most widespread method which they apply is tortures by a current and an alvirivanii on a leg thumb. These tortures they bring the old man to a state when his heart does not maintain, and as a result swelled lungs and terrible painful death, send him still a morgue, live in the freezer, to whom you will not talk. From the thinking citizens all agree that there is a secret directive to destroy old men, not to pay pension. I accuse the state of Ukraine of tortures and murder of my mother Shebyusova Tamara Polykarpovna. I demand to create the International Tribunal and to judge the state of Ukraine for genocide of old men. On that, as society and the state treat old men, it is possible to judge fascist, cannibal this state or humanistic. Point. Ukraine is a caricature on democracy. In this cannibal, police, genocidal state of a total arbitrariness, elementary human rights and first of all the right for life and integrity of human beings were never observed.